Hello everybody, this is Goji73 here with a figure review. It is time for another Bandai figure review, and now that Takong has been reviewed and put out of the way, here is the next bunch of those type of figures to review. And so, let's pull her out. Woo! From Ultraman. Now, starting off with the monster's history, Woo! Was a monster who would watch over a girl named Yukinko, and it's implied that Woo! Is the manifestation of Yukinko's mother, who died 2 years ago, protecting her from freezing to death. As a result, though, the villagers in which the girl lives in saw her as an outcast and would constantly attack her as a result, which in turn would provoke Woo! Into attacking them and saving off Yukinko. Eventually, appearances wound up causing a scare at a local ski resort, and as a result the Science Patrol was sent to investigate the appearance of the monster. Eventually, attacks continued to get more and more violent when the villagers kept attacking the girl, and as a result, became so violent that she ultimately began attacking the ski resort and the village in order to get rid of the hunters once and for all before they attacked Yukinko. Eventually, Ultraman got involved in the scuffle, and he battled against but wound up fighting back. Both of them go at it for a long time until finally Yukinko pleads to stop fighting once and for all, and it's right before she ultimately dies, causing to disappear into thin air, never to be seen again. However, this was not the end of would later return again in Ultraman Ace, where she winds up fighting back against a super beast known as Iceron. However, Iceron is too much for to handle, and as a result, winds up getting defeated by Iceron, who hurls the monster off a gorge and into a valley below, to which Ultraman Ace shows up and he ultimately defeats Iceron. However, is too banged up from this, and as a result wanders away to live in the mountainside for what I assume is for eternity, because is a ghost. And so that just about does it for the history of Now let's get on to detail. Now, first off, surprisingly, for being a very hairy monster, Bandai decided to go with a vinyl look for To show you what I mean, you can actually see all the hair that's sculpted into body. Like even down to very, I don't know if my camera can show it off too well, but you can actually see a lot of intricate lines deep within the detail of this figure, which is surprising, but I guess only makes sense because I don't think they can actually get real hair to make. Apart from the hair, though, the hands and the feet are normally sculpted. His face is pretty nicely sculpted, too. Looks just about accurate. So, apart from that, I'd say detail is very great for Now, as for articulation, despite having a very humanoid build, Spotty only has 2 articulation points, and that being the arms. And unfortunately, because of the hairy sculpt of the figure, you can't really rotate it 360. You can only rotate it to about this much. Well, with this one, you can get a little bit more articulation out of it, but regardless, the hair blocks it, so you can't really rotate it all the way. Apart from that, that's really about it for articulation. And now let's get on to history. Since there is no Iceron and doesn't battle against Ultraman Ace, here is the one opponent that I do have that she does fight against. Here is Ultraman. Looking at the sizing here, I'd say this is accurate. If anything, maybe could be a little bit bigger, like more eye-to-eye with Ultraman, but overall, I'd say this is pretty accurate. After all, Ultraman mostly crouches when he battles, so I'd say this is pretty accurate. Also, to quickly go over this, because I didn't mention this earlier, Woo! Doesn't have any superpowers, so sorry. And so that just about does it for this review. History, she appears in 2 series, Ultraman and Ultraman Ace. Detail is surprisingly very nicely done, for vinyl that is. Superpowers, she has none. Articulation, she has 2, but they're kind of cut off and segmented. And sizing is pretty accurate. So overall, I have to give the figure a 7 out of 10. And I give it that score because, again, detail is very nice for this figure, but the segmented articulation is kind of sort of a eyesore. But I guess it was all Bandai could do for the figure, so I guess I shouldn't be too judgmental. And sizing, again, is very nicely captured. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this figure review of... Okay, that's enough. That's it for today's figure review. If you like what you see, or what I make, and wish to support me and help me create content faster or more efficiently, you can help me by supporting me on Patreon, and possibly get a video of your own made for you, or win several other prizes. You can also help me by supporting me here on YouTube, as well as Facebook and Twitter for anything else I may make in the future. And so that's it. I'll see you all next time. Woo!